I played Division II baseball at Lock Haven University. Tremendous school. Loved my experience at Lock Haven University. Loved the opportunity to be able to play at the Division II level, because the PSAC is really probably the best Division II conference in the country. I think it shaped me because I learned how to deal with failure, because being, from a small school, I went to a really, really small high school, and you go to Lock Haven University and you're playing Division II baseball and you think, oh, you're going to have a shot. Well, not so much. So you kind of be humbled really quickly, and you learn how to work. And I think me being really the utility guy, I was kind of like the fourth infielder. I'd play third, played second. If I needed to play short, I would, but it was mostly second and third. And I think being able to deal with personalities with my teammates, and knowing that, I wasn't the everyday guy, but I was also the guy that would back them up and had to work a little harder, and knowing that to support each other is very important. So I'm not ashamed to say that I was a utility guy. Everybody wants to think they're really, really good, but I knew my limitations, and I was just, happy and grateful to be able to play at that level. And, had some starts, had some fun, but at the same time, I was able to deal with failure really well, which I think helps you in coaching. If you're always successful, you don't know how to relate to guys that deal with failure. So I think that's the biggest thing I pulled from it. I was able to, relate with guys that have success, but also relate with guys that are struggling a bit, and kind of bridge that gap. So I think that helped. Well, being right, as soon as I graduated from Lock Haven, playing there, I was able to get a job at Division I main campus, Penn State, and Division I athletes are just different, and it's you got to handle that a little bit differently. And then I was able to coach Division III in Greensboro, North Carolina. So being able to play Division II, coach Division I, then coach Division III, you really have all the aspects of how athletes and different styles of athletes operate. And they're all different, and you got to handle them all a little bit differently. So I think that diversity has really helped me relate to guys that are really, really talented, and guys that aren't talented so much, maybe have one or two skill sets compared to 5 skill sets. So I think it helps me relate to different abilities on our team. I know that, at the Division I level, being that you have mostly 4, 5 skill type guys, you really have to let them fail before they'll listen. A lot of times, where Division III guys are more hungry to listen and learn and get better. Not all times, not everybody. I don't want to mean to sound it that way, but it just as a majority, it just seems that way in a whole. And it's no slight on D1 guys or D3 guys. I mean, there's definitely exceptions to that, but I think as a whole, it brings a lot of diversity to the table when you're coaching, and you just try to take pieces of each experience and blend it to what we do at our program, which is, been exceptional and been very successful in an extremely short period of time. And I truly credit to the players first. I mean, I don't field ground balls and I don't hit baseballs. And, I think I create the culture, and our coaches are tremendous. Like, surround yourself by tremendous people. I would tell anybody that that's the most important thing. Our athletic director to our assistant coaches are tremendous, and I'm the one that sets the culture, and those guys carry it out, and they're awesome, and their knowledge is overwhelming, and our kids love it. And I think we do a good job of keeping kids here, and kids want to come back, and we turn kids away a lot of times, but we're just trying to find the right person rather than the right player, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'd love to. I always look for reasons to talk about it because it's so special. Again, I think when we started here, we've only had 4 seasons, well, 4 plus with 8 games, but 4 seasons, and we've won 2 national titles in 4 years. And I feel like we built a foundation on concrete, not sand. And I think you have to take care of the little stuff. So the first 2 years, we still made it to the World Series, and we won a few games at the World Series, and I think that was, people were like, "Oh my goodness gracious, that's unbelievable," and I'm like, yeah, it's good, but it's just not good enough. I mean, a lot of people ask me, what are your expectations the first year when we started the program? They're like, "Oh, you just want to have a winning record, right?" And I'm like, "No, we want to win everything." So I think you have to raise your expectations really, really high so the players and coaches match that. And once that's matched and you create leaders amongst your team, like we have tremendous leaders, and that goes back to the culture. Tremendous kids, tremendous leaders, tremendous people. They have really good families that give them great morals, and we rely on that leadership. And it's, as far as the experience goes, there's nothing more, I guess, satisfying is to see the kids, number one, graduate, and number two, develop those relationships and bonds that they'll never forget. And I always tell them, we practice dogpiling. We practice that, and people laugh at that. But I'm like, no, I want you to envision it. I want you to practice it. I want you to know what that feeling's like so you can embrace it. And when we do practice it, we have to be careful we don't hurt each other. But so they have that experience and they know what it's like, and then it comes easy to them. I think one of the greatest tributes is we had a player that came here, transferred here, and he was here for 3 years. And he recently got married when he graduated. He was part of the first national championship team. His name is Caleb Bennett. He got married a year after he graduated, and 30 plus, like 35 guys and some guys he didn't even play with, just was a part of the program, came to his wedding, and they had this big picture with all the players at his wedding. And it was, I think that says a lot about our program and the experiences and the relationships that we have. I mean, it's really a special place. And, we had a Division I player transfer here last year, and he said, "Coach, culture here is just so much different than Division I. It's, such a family type relationship based, guys can call any of the coaches in the middle of the night and they would help them if they needed it." A lot of Zoom meetings, a lot of one-on-one phone calls. Our administrative staff, we've had some kids have some personal issues with this whole pandemic. I won't lie. Some anxiety issues, some depression issues, not knowing. We've had a lot of guys. I shouldn't say a lot. We've had 5 guys leave the program because of the uncertainty and job opportunity and loss of loved ones. And, they needed to feel like they needed to be closer to their family. So there's been a lot of exhausting and a lot of phone calls, both through myself, through our assistant coaches, and through, hold on one second. One of my players was calling me, sorry. Through, our administration has been very, very good at supporting, talking to some of those players, one-on-ones. We've gotten on Zoom calls and just played trivia to just getting to know one another. We've had recruits on phone calls, meeting our current team members. Past players get on Zoom calls. So Zoom's been a big deal for us to be able to really kind of stay connected. We've tried to do it like once every 2 weeks throughout the year to try to do that. A lot of personal text messages, a lot of personal phone calls. I actually try to keep connected with them through just trivia questions and fun games through our group messages, and just try to, do our statistics. Who is the all-time leading triples guy or whoever, just to keep them thinking baseball, but also support them at the same time, and, try to relate to them as well. Because it's been hard for all the players. It's been hard on the coaches. It's been hard on everybody. And, we open up this Saturday and there's still so many restrictions that we have to follow. It's honestly, I haven't even thought about the game itself. It's just exhausting. Oh, good question. Well, the most important thing to me is spending time with my daughters. I love my daughters more than anything in the world. They sometimes I hope they don't feel like baseball comes over them, because it never does. It's just, I really, that's my passion and they're my passion. So they have to see that I'm involved. But it's, other than my family, I love to go fishing. It's because I don't want to be around people after you're around people so much. I just want to hear the water and just relax. So most likely fishing, camping, just spending some quality downtime, enjoy running, exercising, that kind of stuff. But really just fishing and going to the beach and just relaxing a little bit. And this is really outside the box. Like I'm a total baseball crazy person and love the outdoors. I know nothing about like cars or motors. Like if somebody said do this, I have not a clue. But I do like to take and go to dirt track racing. Like I know nothing about it. That's probably why I enjoy it, because I can just sit there and, oh man, those cars are fast. That's awesome. Look at that, that's cool. Like I know nothing about it. It's just they're fast cars, and it's, we take our family, we place a dollar bet on which car we want. So yeah, just down to earth, salt of the earth kind of stuff, just to keep things in perspective. I don't like going around a bunch of people and doing that stuff, but yeah, simple stuff.